Let's go live back to Kooyong. The Shadow Treasurer Angus Taylor joins us. Interesting exchange there Laura J's had with Monique Ryan. Didn't want to answer any questions today there at the pre-poll. Unusual sort of interaction. What do you make of it?
Well, it is the Teals revealed, Kieran. They talked a big game on transparency. The reality is we've seen the opposite. And we know one of the reasons for that is that they vote the vast majority of the time with the Greens and with Labor. That's what you get if you vote for a Teal. The contrast here in Kooyong, I've been with Amelia Hamer this morning on the pre-poll, getting extraordinary support, an outstanding candidate, real-world experience before going into politics that will make a real difference. She can have a real impact for the people of Kooyong and for Australia more generally.
The polling recently hasn't been that encouraging more broadly, but from what you're picking up on the ground at that pre-poll, you're feeling a bit more positive with Amelia there today?
Oh, I've been positive about Amelia from the start. She's, as I said, an absolutely outstanding candidate. She's been running an outstanding campaign, huge amount of energy, a lot of mobilisation of supporters. I've seen her in action a number of times, and I just know she's going to make a contribution, a great contribution to the parliament if she gets elected. So we'll keep doing everything we can to make sure we win over the voters of Kooyong. And the contrast, as you saw this morning on Sky, is Teals that haven't been transparent, that have voted with the Greens. And we learned this morning that Monique Ryan has indicated strong support for getting rid of negative gearing. We've also learnt that we know that's going to raise the cost of rent, or the rental costs for hardworking Australians. And of course, for those investors in investment properties, it's going to be a real whack to them. We know Labor wants to do this, but it's also very clear that the Greens will up the ante on it, and the Teals will be with them.
Angus Taylor, you released some numbers today. I know that the government hasn't given you the regular Treasury briefings that you had requested, but you've crunched the numbers yourself, and the potential impact of the trade wars. You're suggesting it could be upwards of $100 billion in terms of larger deficits across the forward estimates.
Yeah,
what's the basis for that analysis?
Well, a reduction in growth. I mean, this is based on IMF numbers. They've done a trade war scenario, and the conclusion is that you would see a big hit to global growth. And this is why having buffers, making sure we're in a position where we can respond to it, and getting investment, business investment going in this country, it's at a low since 1991. We haven't seen business investment at this level since 1991. We've got to get it moving, Kieran, and that's why we've also announced over the weekend incentives for people to move into small businesses. We want to restore hope that you can actually start a small business, you can build it over time, and you can get ahead. Australians have been losing that hope. 30,000 small businesses have gone under Labor, and it continues to happen. We want to restore hope that small business is a real option for younger Australians to start and build their business, and that's why we've announced this entrepreneurship accelerator, a tax break for the first few years when people start their business, and also a digital tech boost. So it's encouraging them to make the investments they need in technology, which we know is so crucial now for small businesses to get ahead.
When you announced that policy, and I know that there's been some positive feedback from various Liberals that I've been talking to who can get that message out there, but is some of this left too late? I get the merits of it, and I know it's targeted at your sort of small business base, but shouldn't some of these policies have been released earlier so people and voters can digest the material here?
Well, we've been releasing policies for small business for a long time now. Of course, the instant asset write-off, we took a strong position on this early on, that we'd raise it, we'd make it permanent. This is really crucial so that small businesses have the certainty they need. We also have announced important industrial relations policies for small business so that small businesses can negotiate directly with their employees to get the best outcome for both. We know that is really crucial. We've announced these policies some time back, Kieran, and this is in addition to those things. Look, what we want to do, and we've been very clear about this since we've been in opposition, is restore hope for people to start and build a small business. And right now that hope is being lost. And this country is not the same country as the one that I've grown up with and loved throughout my life if small business and farmers don't get the opportunities that they've traditionally had. And that's what we've seen under Labor, 30,000 going under, record number, Kieran. We have to make this possible. We have to restore hope, as we do in housing. These are two crucial things for us as Liberals: restore the hope of home ownership and restore the hope of starting and growing a business.
There was a further sell-off in the US overnight after the Donald Trump comments in relation to the Fed Chair Jerome Powell. This adds to this sort of swirling uncertainty that is the backdrop to this election. Do you recognise that that is actually it's making it harder for you and Peter Dutton to make the case against the incumbent, because people gravitate towards the incumbent at times of uncertainty, don't they?
Well, it is a time of uncertainty, there's no doubt about it, and what we're seeing around the world is tumultuous. But the question I'd ask is, who is best to manage the economy in uncertain times? Who is best to open up markets to the world? I mean, this is a Labor Party that last time, or since they've been in government indeed, they're shutting down markets. They've shut down the sheep market, the sheep export market. They previously shut down the cattle export market, and they're saying they're going to try and protect the beef market into the US. I mean, look, honestly, the hypocrisy of this lot knows no bounds. We are the ones that have always been the strong economic managers. We've always been the ones to open up markets in a world where trade is challenged, and we did that last time in government with free trade agreement after free trade agreement. But Labor's never had any passion for this, and the result is we will see, I'm sure, a world that is tougher to trade into, but a Labor Party that doesn't have its heart behind making sure our farmers and small businesses, our manufacturers, all of our exporters get those export opportunities that they deserve.
Just finally, the big news around the world, the passing of Pope Francis, the Prime Minister pausing campaigning, the opposition leader then followed suit. Is that more of a political stunt than anything in terms of the reaction?
Oh, no, look, I think it's right and proper that we pay tribute to a Pope who has served the Catholic Church and all Christians around the world in an extraordinary way. I mean, he has been a great servant. There is no question about that. It is a big moment, obviously, for the Catholic Church, but I think more generally for Christians around the world, and it's right and proper we pay him tribute.
We will let you go and hand out the how to votes, though, because that work doesn't stop, I don't believe. On behalf of your colleague Amelia Hamer, thanks for your time, Shadow Treasurer Angus Taylor.
Good to be with you, Kieran.